things. And we have been in that same limbo where we want to make sure that we are true to our mission, we are true to our clients, and we're true to what we're doing, and have to be very discerning in where we do look for our funding as an organization.
We have a question in the chat for you, Morgan. I want to remind everyone, if you have a question, put it in chat so that we don't have duplicates. Is your staff bilingual, since you're working with people who we would imagine don't speak English or speak very little English?
Yes, so 2 of our staff members, our 2 DOJ accredited representatives, are bilingual. We all can kind of speak Spanish. I certainly, as an attorney, do not speak Spanish well enough to give legal advice in Spanish, but we have the 2 DOJ reps. They are actually, one of them, our office manager, is a DACA recipient himself. So what we do is very near and dear to him. And Beretti, our other community outreach member, she's fluent in Spanish as well. We also have 2 amazing interns right now in the legal department that both speak Spanish. And so if there's ever a meeting I have to get through, that I'll bring one of them along to act as my interpreter. And when we get paperwork, because with these applications that we file with USCIS, which stands for United States Immigration and Citizenship Services, we will have to translate birth certificates, marriage certificates, all sorts of supporting documents. And so our staff is able to do that in-house as well, which is really nice.
Morgan, one of our members, as a matter of fact, a member who pointed out your organization to me, would like to just share with you and with all of us the positive experiences of some friends in Eden Gardens who were helped by Pathways.
I would love that.
Bobby?
Okay. We have some longtime friends in Eden Gardens. I don't know about the details of every family member, but I know one of them, who was our gardener for decades, always had a green card, but never citizenship. But sometime in the last 10 years or 5 years, maybe 10 years. Anyway, he and his wife, and I think eventually his mother-in-law, were helped by your organization. But I was so pleased to hear from him, and he was so pleased that your group paid for those expensive fees for him to get his citizenship. And then, you know, as a non-citizen, he wasn't as concerned about our holidays, but Labor Day came up within a few months of him getting citizenship, and he contacted us and he said, I realized I'm a citizen now and I can take Labor Day off. So I'm not working today. And I got such a kick out of that.
I love that. That is something that we love with our clients. They are so proud of themselves when they finish a journey, because they look at it and they go, oh gosh, this is a long process. There's a lot asked of me. Like you said, there are a lot of fees that we sometimes can cover. Like I said, our legal fees, our overhead, that we always cover. But it's a long journey, and to see the pride in these pictures everyone takes when they do finally become a citizen, it's amazing. And COVID has stifled the oath ceremony. They're doing it right after. Right after you take if you pass, they'll swear you in right then and there at USCIS. But they used to be these beautiful ceremonies with thousands of people all taking their oath together. And I was on a roundtable with USCIS recently, and they're hopeful that we can go back to those ceremonies soon, because if you want to feel good, attend one of those ceremonies. It's amazing.
One other thing I thought I'd mention too, in case people aren't aware, they easily can have dual citizenship. He was a Mexican citizen all his life, and then he received the U.S. citizenship, and that made it so much easier to go across the border to visit family, because he knew when he was entering Mexico, he showed the Mexican citizenship. When he was returning to the U.S., he showed his U.S. citizenship, and it just made life a lot easier for his family.
Absolutely, Bobby, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that is a misconception that a lot of people have. our clients from Mexico don't tend to be as concerned with it, but we have clients from all over the world. And I had one recently from Israel, and she was very concerned that she would have to give up her Israeli nationality. And that is a misconception. The government does, I mean, they ask you to take the oath and that you will defend the United States, but they don't, it's not like they take away your other passport or your other citizenship. That doesn't occur. And that is definitely a misconception people have about naturalization.
I'm talking with my my friend and housekeeper, Maria Hilaria, and she really likes the United States, but that's her big concern, is that she says, you know, soy mexicana, you know, and she doesn't want to have to give that up. So that's good to know, because those laws change depending. I lived in France and couldn't become a French citizen, but I could vote in France, you know. So it depends with each country. It depends what the rules are. I just wanted to clarify, when Morgan says DACA, those are the people that are often referred to as dreamers.
Yes.
Also, if you're thinking DACA, what's DACA? It's the dreamers. And I taught so many students who we were able, by hook or by crook, and sometimes it was by crook a little bit, to get into university. And who are still waiting, you know, to be able to take the great jobs that are being offered to them, et cetera, because their status is still very uncertain, because they are dreamers, and our government just, you know, has not given them any kind of permanent status. So
it's definitely a very interesting limbo. And as I mentioned, Pedro in our office, he is a DACA recipient. And there literally is there's no way to go from DACA status to anything else. You're constantly in this status that can't get you towards even a green card. It's a really big conundrum, especially, you know, for a lot of these people, this is the only country they know. And if for some reason the administration were to say, okay, we're DACA has to all go back, a lot of them wouldn't even know where to go. They don't know family, they don't know the country, they don't know anything, because they've been here their whole life. And so I do not want to get political, but it's definitely something heavy on our hearts at Pathways to Citizenship.
And speaking of political, without naming any names, but I know the motivation for these friends of ours in Eden Gardens. They wanted to be able to vote in a particular election. National election, and that was the motivator. They got a lot of them wanting citizenship so they could vote the way they wanted to in this particular election.
And that's why I love hearing about organizations like yours, Arcella, that work so hard to educate people on being a part of the process, because it's so important. Our country is amazing because of our diversity, because of the different cultures that all are together. And I just have such a strong passion for immigrants, not just from Mexico and Central and South America, but from all over the world. It's such a vital piece of who we are and why we're different, and what truly makes us a beacon in this world.
I know we have a guest here, Lola Sherman, who has a column regularly in the San Diego Union Tribune, and she had mentioned to me, because I always send her press releases of what our meetings are, that she was interested in what was being done for the Afghan immigrants.
So there's a lot of outreach, and like I mentioned before, most of those types of organizations are down closer to the border. But there are a lot of different organizations down there that are helping. We have been working with, we've partnered with an organization called Bridge Builders that was primarily focused on the Syrian refugees. And now we're helping them naturalize, because their 5 years have kind of come up. Once you have status in the US, a green card, you have to wait 5 years and then you can naturalize. That's the time frame. So we've been helping them on that side of it. Now they're shifting their focus to the Afghan refugees, and there's been an outpouring. It's incredible. Food, blankets, homes. People are opening their homes up to take in families. It's been really neat to see. If you want to feel good, pop on the news and see how much San Diego is doing to help the refugees. It's remarkable.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, well, I would like to thank our two wonderful speakers. I feel very dynamized. If you are looking for volunteer opportunities, by the way, both Pathways to Citizenship and Universidad Popular have classes in English, and correct me if I'm wrong, Arcela, are happy to have English speakers working with their students, you know, so that they get used to hearing English, American accents and understanding. There are plenty of opportunities both for donating time and for donating money to these two very worthwhile organizations. And we are, as an organization, very interested in being your allies. So please, you know, if you have an event, if you have a function, let us know so we can help publicize it, so we can, you know, maybe take a booth there. We can help you, you know, in your activities and support you. And don't forget that we also support young women and students of all kinds with our scholarships, with STEM classes. And we have groups at Cal State San Marcos, you know, recruiting young women to the organization and to volunteer opportunities. So we look forward to being allies with you. And we commend you for the wonderful work you're doing among our communities here in North County and throughout San Diego. Thank you so much.